Hey everybody, Gary McGowan here, and we're going to do something a little bit different, but kind of the same today. We're going to talk about the value and the leverage and the power of real estate. You know, when I'm talking to clients, when I'm talking to friends, when I'm talking to other realtors, when I'm talking to investors, there's typically three questions that come up. And I'm sure you've had these three questions before. You ever wondered how people are paying off their mortgage in 10 years? You ever thought about, am I going to have enough funds during my retirement years? How can I have enough funds to send my children to school, university, college, post-secondary education? Well, I have answers for you. And in fact, we're going to answer those questions on November 30th. So I have some really cool information I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to talk about the power and the leverage of real estate. So let's roll the intro and we'll get cracking right here. Very good, my friends. Well, like I said, November 30th, we have an awesome webinar event coming up with my good friend, Dion Beg, mortgage professional, mortgage extraordinaire, and he has been helping my clients and many other people answer these three questions. How can I pay off my mortgage in 10 years? How can I create more funds for my retirement years? And how can I create enough funds to send my children to school? Those are things that we've talked about in the past, and we're going to talk about it again on November 30th. Webinar link is below. Send me a message, and I'll make sure that you get registered for that. Dion is an outstanding mortgage broker, and more importantly, an outstanding educator on why it's important to generate wealth and to generate wealth in this way to answer those three questions. Today, I'm going to do a little screen share. I'm going to show you the power of leverage because there's many people out there that perhaps have been sitting in their homes for 10, 15, 20, even 30 years, and maybe the mortgage has been paid off or it's close to it or it's half or what have you, and you have equity in your home and you think to yourself, man, if I just get this house paid off, I'll be set. Well, there's a lot of equity sitting in there that could be working for you. You've worked hard your entire life to own that home. Now it's time for that home to work hard for you, right? See what I'm saying? Let's get that home working hard for you. So without further ado, let's do a little screen share and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And the example that I'm going to use today is a residence or your home valued at $800,000. Now, if you're around the Toronto area, it's probably worth and valued a lot more than that. But for easy numbers, let's use $800,000. Perhaps you have a current first mortgage of $300,000. So that's your mortgage balance. Maybe there's 10 years left on that mortgage. So that would give you total equity of $500,000. Whatever your numbers are, use your numbers. But this is the example that we're going to run with today. And here's what it could look like in 5 years. I want you to see things. I want you to see things how I see things, right? And this is what we're going to work with. We're going to work with your personal residence appreciating at 5% a year. And we know in the Toronto area and many parts of Canada, it's actually been faster than that or more than that, but we're going to stick with 5. 5 is a good number. Home valuation at $800,000. That takes us in 5 years from now to a valuation of $1,021,000. Your mortgage has been paid down somewhat by yourselves, $159,000 in 5 years. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And your total equity of $862,000. I'm actually going to show you how you can pay this off in 5 years. How's that sound? Right? Okay. 7 years. Your home is now valued at $1,125,000, and that gives us a total equity with some mortgage pay down of $1,028,000. Okay, let's keep going through this. 10 years. Now your home has been appreciating for 10 years at 5% a year, gives us a valuation of $1,300,000. Of course, we paid off that mortgage ourselves, and now we have a total equity of 1.3, right? That's what the home's valued. We don't own anything on it. That's what it's valued at. And as I said before, there's many people out there that's their dream, and that's quite all right. Live your dream. However, you've worked hard to pay off that home. Now let's get that home working hard for you. Here's how we do that. We're going to use an example. Buying an investment property for $600,000, and that's going to require approximately $135,000 investments. And we're going to turn that investment into something pretty amazing, okay? Using the same numbers, 5% appreciation, now on 600,000 in 5 years, that valuation is now at $765,000. That our mortgage balance at that point is $389,000, giving us equity of $241,000. Pretty cool, right? In 7 years, so 2 more years, $843,000 is now valued at. Mortgages pay down somewhat, and that gives us total equity of $353,000. At 10 years, $976,000. You see where we're going here. Mortgage pay down. Remember, we have a tenant in that investment property paying down that mortgage. Now that's at 302 with total equity sitting at just under $540,000. What if we do 15 years? Yeah. $1.2 million, $1,246,000 to be exact, or sorry, $1,246,000 to be exact, giving us a new mortgage balance of $206,000 and total equity of $905,000 by owning real estate, by using, remember, this was all created with a $135,000 investment. Pretty amazing. Now we're looking at that 30,000 foot view. There's 1,000 different questions and other scenarios to run through, but I want you to understand the power of leverage, right? And if you remember, in 5 years on our personal residence at $800,000, in 5 years from now, I had a mortgage balance of $159,000. Do you think, looking in 5 years after owning this investment property, right, that top row there, we would have created enough funds to pay off that mortgage? We've created $241,000. Yes, there's going to be some tax implications, but I would believe that there is enough funds in there to pay off our first mortgage, our personal residence, in 5 years. How cool is that? Instead of waiting the extra 10 or the extra 5, a total of 10 years paying it off, this is the power of leverage. This is the power of real estate. Now, this is cool. What if we did this 2 times? What if we bought 2 investment properties? I'm not talking about buying 10 or 20 or 30. I'm talking about buying 2. All right, here we go. We're going to buy the exact same property twice. So we're going to find a similar property, both for $600,000, both requiring approximately $135,000. And this is what it's going to create for us. Again, appreciating at 5% a year. And it's going to create for us a total equity after 5 years, $482,000. Each home will be valued, of course, at $765,000. Moving forward, home valuation of $843,000 times 2, remember, and total equity of $706,000. 10 years, there's the $1 million valuation, or $1 million in equity we've been looking for. That's after 10 years, 2 homes, not including, as I want to be very specific here, not including your personal residence. This is just the investment properties. 15 years, 2 homes, both valued at $1.246 million. And now I already know you're looking at the equity of $1.8 million in equity, excluding your personal residence. Phenomenal. Remember, if we included that, that would take us to well over, that'd be close to $3 million. In fact, it would be well over $3 million. What am I saying? Holding that property for another 15 years for sure. So this is the power of leverage. This is the power of real estate. This is the power that we're going to talk about on November 30th with Dion Beg. Remember these 3 questions. How can I pay off my mortgage in 10 years? How can I have enough money for retirement? And how can I generate enough money to send my kids through school? I am sure you have many more questions, like how can I create more to give? Things like that. This on November 30th is going to be answered for you. Dion is a fantastic educator, fantastic mortgage broker. He teaches this right across Canada, and he is going to put this out for you in terms that we all can understand. And as I said before, the power of leverage can do many, many amazing things. We're not talking about leveraging your house and being leveraged to the hill. We're doing it very, very conservatively. Remember, each one of these homes, you required $135,000, or a total of $270,000 to invest. That $270,000 created $1.8 million. That is outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And if you lived on $1.8 million minus some taxes and so forth, we can show you how to invest that money again into second mortgage and some guaranteed investments that's going to pay you cash flow for your investment years. See, these are all things. This is how I think, right? This is how I think, and this is how I want you to think. You know, how can you generate more today so you can live a better life tomorrow? You worked hard for that home, paying it off, paying down the mortgage. Now it's time for that home to work hard for you. I love when people sign up for our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, hit the like button, let me know your comments. November 30th, as I mentioned, is when our investment workshop, our wealth creation workshop is happening with Dion Beg. Send me a message. I'll make sure that you get signed up for that. Absolutely. And many people have already reached out to me because they're looking to get connected with a realtor anywhere in North America. And I have a great network that I've already talked with, and I'm connecting great clients to great realtors. And I love talking real estate. So November 30th, workshop with Dion Beg, how to generate more wealth, how to generate wealth through real estate and through leverage and knowledge so you can do some amazing things in your future. That's it for me. We'll see everybody in the next video. Bye for now.